So, I want to talk about perspective. I've talked about perspective before, but this is from a different perspective about perspective. But, I want to talk about how there's two different perspectives. So, I seen this meme, and it was this cartoon dude and this cartoon girl. I want to fix the meme and replace the cartoon girl with a cartoon girl and another cartoon guy at the bottom. So, imagine there's this cartoon dude at the top, and then next to him on the side in a different box is Goku, which is the main character of Dragon Ball Z. So, and then in the bottom, there's those two people, like the cartoon dude and the cartoon girl, and in the box next to them is a almost perfect, in shape, um, cartoon girl and Goku. The original meme only had the girl at the bottom and then another girl on the side. But I wanted to fix it because I think it has nothing to do with men and women. I think it has more to do with your mental health and or your mental perspective. How do you look at life? Do you get inspired by others or do you get jealous of others? Like I have I've made friends with rich people, right? I'm inspired by them. I'm not jealous of them. Whatever, do your thing. You want to buy a Bugatti, you want to buy, whatever, do your thing. But, I'm inspired. Not inspired because I want to buy a Bugatti. Inspired because there's certain things that these men have that I would like. Maybe traits, maybe mental, there's certain, whatever the fuck. And it's okay. That's okay. It's okay to look for women. It's okay to look at a beautiful woman on Instagram and be like, "Oh wow, she's beautiful." There's a thin line between saying, "Oh wow, she's beautiful," and saying, "Oh wow, I want to do that. I want to do something like that." And I wish I looked like that. There's a thin line between I want to do something like that and I wish I looked like that. Because you wish you looked like that is a downward spiral to depression and a downward spiral to feeling bad about yourself in the way you look because that woman might have bigger lips than you, or she might have a bigger chest than you, or bigger thighs, or whatever, thinner waist, whatever. But that doesn't mean that you have to be like, "Oh, woe is me." Just work on becoming the best version of you. I think this is where we need to get to. Because that meme was basically saying the dude at the top was inspired by Goku, and then the girl at the bottom was basically, felt insecure even more when she's seen more beautiful women. And the dude at the bottom got more insecure and more depressed and more whatever when he sees someone like Goku because he knows he can never be like Goku. Or when he sees another man who's in shape, who has his life together, who is successful, who, can kind of do what they want to do. Or even as simple as me, when I talk about how I healed my mental health issues, I've seen reactions on people in real life and on the internet, but how it bothers people. You healed your mental health, man, but one of those things. And it's I wasn't saying it in a dickhead way. I was just saying it's possible. Just like the people on the internet when they're I made it, I'm successful, whatever. It's possible because to them it's possible because at one point it wasn't their reality and now it is. At one point my mental health was fucked up, but now it's not. At one point I was self-harming, but now I'm not. At one point, it's all these things and it's well, I got inspired by a lot of people. A lot of people. It's not this is the beauty of the internet. Before I got into psychedelics, I was inspired by Terrence McKenna. And Terrence McKenna inspired the fuck out of me because the way that he looked at psychedelics was different. And I guess how intelligent he was, how the way he spoke, the whatever. At the time when I discovered Terrence McKenna, I was still that wannabe gangster thug dude. So I was listening to him like, man, you know, I wish I could think like that or talk like that. But my version of I wish I could talk like that, and the girl saying I wish I could look like that girl, well, you kind of can. And, well, I kind of can. Like, I can teach myself how to speak more fluently. I could teach myself how to just speak. I could just practice speaking, practice free flowing, practice. And eventually, I taught myself how to speak better, how to think better, how to feel better, how to be me better, instead of being that thug dude that I thought I had to be. Because that's the mistakes that we get into. When I was that thug dude, I seen other thugs and I was like, I have to be that. And I bet it's the same type shit when women see other like beautiful women on like Instagram or something and they feel like they have to be that. Other women are doing all these things and they have to do that. Other women are wearing all this makeup and they have to do that. And don't get it twisted, because I have a daughter. So I've seen that when a girl is like kind of being like able to be without like the pressures of reality or whatever, women want to be feminine naturally anyways. Like, girls want to, put on glitter and do all this stuff. Like, that's kind of normal for women, like for girls, for whatever, it's that kind of normal thing. But there's a difference between a girl that is not like that, then goes on the internet and sees girls and sees that 90% of girls are like that, and then they start doing it just because 90% of girls do that. Like, because that can just fuck up your mind. And it's better to, like I said in the video prior, like, it's better to go into your 30s with your mental health healed, but you're overweight or extremely skinny, than to go into your 30s in the best physical shape of your life, but your mental health is the worst it's ever been. Like, you'd rather have a good mind, because your good mind can then eventually help the body. But the body is not gonna fucking help the mind. Like, if your mind is fucked and you're actually already in shape, you probably fucked. Like, because it's all about the perspective at that point. Like, if you're in shape, you got money, you're not poor, you're not homeless, you're not whatever, like, life is good. But a lot of people's perspective will then go to trying to figure out, pinpointing on the one thing that's wrong. Like, so I really think it's just about perspective. About how, like, my perspective is I'm inspired by Goku, even though I know he's not a real human. Goku's not real. I will never be as chiseled and like ripped as Goku. I will not go, no matter how hard I train, I will never go Super Saiyan. But that's okay. I know Goku's not real. That's why I'm inspired by it. Because it's a thing that can keep me pushing forever. It's a thing that I know I'll never reach. And because I've healed my mental health issues, when I'm going towards something that I know I'll never reach, I enjoy the fuck out of the journey, because I understand that the journey is the actual prize, and the prize at the end is just the end. Like, it's hard to explain, but like, a lot of people, they're like, want to get in shape, right? So then they're like, kind of make this goal where like, I want to get in shape, I want to be like this and be like this, and be this buff, and I want to like whatever. And then when they reach their goal, then what? Like, it's a goal that ends, and then what? And then they start chasing these things, like chasing. Same thing when people get their $1 million, then they gotta chase the $2 million. And that is okay if you are mentally healed. Because if you're mentally healed, you will do that and have fun, because you're not doing it for the next $1 million. You're doing it because you enjoyed the fuck out of the process. Because the process became your life. So, like, that process is your life. So it's not necessarily about chasing the next million. It's just, obviously, if you continue living that life and doing that process, it's going to give you the next million. Just like my process, when I would talk about I'm on the journey to become a modern day shaman, and from 2015 until now. And it's like the process, it's like, well, I lived the lifestyle. So after you live a certain lifestyle for so long, eventually it brings results. I live a certain lifestyle. Like, I've never been to the gym, but I'm in the best physical shape I've ever been in. But I've never been to the gym, and I don't even know if I really want to go to the gym because I don't need to. Because the lifestyle I live would probably just make the gym interfere with what the fuck I already do. Like the hiking, the jogging, the working out, the pull-ups, the push-ups, the dips, the like all this shit that I do all the time. It's just kind of part of life to me. So, it's not like I'm chasing this unrealistic standard. Like, I'm not chasing anything. I just want to become the best version of me because I know I'll never be Goku. I know that I'll never be Terrence McKenna. I know that I'll never be any of these people that inspired me, but I know that I can get inspired by them. That's it. Like, when my ex-girlfriend left me 2 years ago, that's when Andrew Tate kind of started getting popular or whatever. That's when I found his content. And his content helped me get back into being me. Because when my ex-girlfriend left me, I almost lost myself. Because, like, I say this all the time, it was the first time I ever lived alone, like, all this other shit, so, like, and I realized, like, boo-hoo-hoo, what was me, type shit. Like, yeah, I cried, and I went through the pain and shit, but there's nobody to help me. Like, it's me. I would cry myself to sleep, and I would wake up and there in my apartment by myself. And then start doing push-ups, but I'd be bawling my eyes out crying, but I'm still fucking doing these push-ups. And, like, I would sit there and bawl my eyes out, so I'd be like, well, it's perfect time to make a sad song. Like, it was perspective. My perspective. But my perspective was helped by people like Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, by other people, like, in their, like, group, like Jay Waller, and, like, my perspective needed people like that at the time. That does not mean I need to become just like them. I don't need to become Andrew Tate. I just needed to stop, like, using the breakup as an excuse to not do anything. And I needed to use the breakup as an excuse to do more things. Like, to push harder, to become the best version of me. Like, I would listen to Infinite Waters. Like, I've been listening to Infinite Waters for, like, fucking 13 years, 12 years, whatever, 10 years, I don't know. Something like that. But, like, he would talk about, becoming your greatest version. And I adapted, like, even though, like, that one sentence that Ralph Smart says when he talks about becoming your greatest version, like, it's like I took that one sentence and I ran with that. Like, you don't have to run with everything we say, like, as human beings. Like, I took Ralph Smart's one sentence, applied it to my life as a fucking rule, like, as a law of my life. I'm going to become my greatest version. Then I made another law of my life where I'm going to be on this journey to become a modern day shaman. Then I made another law of my life after my ex-girlfriend left that I'm going to stop self-harming and I'm going to heal my mental health and I'm going to, get in the best physical shape and I'm going to start taking my physical shape, like physical health seriously just as much as I do my mental and spiritual health. Like, these are laws that became the laws of my life. Like, and I feel like people just need to kind of we need to become self-aware, because it's the lack of self-awareness. Because when you're looking at other people, if you're not self-aware, you might think that you have to be those other people, especially girls, because I'm raising a girl. So, like, I see that girls will see these other girls on the internet and they kind of feel like they have to be them. And then, I don't know if filters are a good thing or a bad thing, because they're supposed to just be for fun. And I see my daughter using filters, and she's just having fun, and I see that it's not affecting her mental health, but that's because she has me. She's had me her whole life, so, I've taught her as much as I can about the mind, about working with the mind, and healing the mind, and controlling the mind, and, like, all these different things. And it's like, I've tried to explain, like, just, you gotta be you, and you can be whoever you want to be, just make sure you're somebody that you actually like, because I feel like that's one of the issues. people are not who they actually want to be, and it's not about the physical thing. Because girls will look at other girls who are more beautiful and they think that they're lacking in something, but if they healed their mind and became the best version of themselves mentally, then they can look at a beautiful girl and then be like, ooh, I like her, the way she does her makeup, or I like the ways that she dresses, I like the way she does her hair. So you can start doing your hair that way. You can start doing your makeup that way. You can start dressing that way. But that doesn't mean that you have to then get your lips done because she has big lips. Or that doesn't mean that you have to fix your face and all this extra shit because her face is a different shape than yours. Like, you can be inspired by certain people's thing without needing to fuck yourself up. Because you are you. It's who you are. And beauty is funny because most women are beautiful. Like, thin lips, big big hips, small hips. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but the variety of women are beautiful in general. But women are more beautiful when they're self-aware, or at least to me. Because a lot of men, like especially a lot of successful men, they're not looking for some self-aware woman. They're looking for a woman who's not really self-aware, who's not really that intelligent, and not really whatever. But, like, I think the more you are self-aware as a woman and a man, the more you can look at people in the world and not say you want to be exactly like them, but you can get inspired by them. So, like I said, I was inspired by Terence McKenna that's why I looked at psychedelics the way I do. Like, that's why I do psychedelics the way I do. Because from getting into psychedelics, from listening to Terence McKenna, and, like, ayahuasca shaman documentaries and all this other stuff, I then had a certain perspective before I even did the psychedelic. So then I did the psychedelic, and then the perspective was a more shamanic, spiritual perspective, trying to communicate with the entities or communicate with this thing or whatever. And a lot of people's perspective of psychedelics when they do it is the colors, or they're with their friends or whatever. And it's always been a shamanic setting for me, a ceremonial setting. I've never done psychedelics really in a party setting necessarily. I used to trip with my ex-girlfriend, but, like, even if we had fun, it was still spiritual. Like, there was still some lessons we learned, or still whatever. But I think that once you get a grasp on you, then you can just work on becoming a better version of you. And we can all help each other. Like I said, Andrew Tate helped me. Fucking Terence McKenna, Goku, and it's no disrespect to Andrew Tate. It's just Andrew Tate helped me start working out. Goku helps me keep working out because I watch Dragon Ball when I work out. But, like, Goku helps me keep working out. And, like, seeing Vegeta, like, I don't know if I said this, but seeing Vegeta's character grow, like, Vegeta's another character from Dragon Ball, but, like, seeing his character develop over time, it's like, these things taught me, well, you can character develop. You can become a better person. You can grow. You can get stronger. You can whatever. And it's okay to have some healthy competition as well. That's also what I learned from Dragon Ball. Like, as Goku then surpasses Vegeta, Vegeta then trains to then keep up with Goku. But he is not trying to be Goku. He's just trying to keep up with Goku, as in being the same strength level. But they are both themselves, though. Goku's not trying to be Vegeta, and Vegeta's not trying to be Goku. They just want to be on the same level. So, like, it's that thing. I'm not trying to be like any of these people. I'm just trying to be me, but I'm trying to be on their level. Like, that was the goal. And that became reality. Like, with psychedelics, with the whole spiritual thing with psychedelics and what I do, and, like, it became real. But, like, it's really up to you on how you look at things. So, like, you can look at these people on the internet and then feel like you have to be them, or you can look at these people on the internet and then get inspired by certain traits that they have or certain little things, but you don't have to live exactly like them, think exactly like them, do what they do, or whatever. But it would be better to be you. Like, even if you tried to do what they do and try to, like, all these girls that then get their lips done and do all this, and it's no disrespect, but at the end of the fucking night, I bet they don't feel as good as they thought they would. Like, because you'll feel better if, like, take care of your face. You don't need to change it or whatever. Meaning, like, yeah, get some facial cream and anti-aging stuff and take care of your skin and all this other shit. Like, do that. But, like, you don't have to change yourself completely. Like I said, you can get inspired by people, but you don't have to become those people exactly. You can become you, because you are this thing that is like Play-Doh. You can mold yourself into whatever you want to be. Men and women. The biggest difference between men and women, though, is men usually have no choice. Like, men have no choice but to build themselves, because when men are born, they're born with zero value. They're nothing. They don't mean, like, they're nothing. Women, when some women are born with extreme beauty, and, like, that's high value, but as you grow up as a human being, if that's all you have is the extreme beauty, and you never build your character, then there is things you're lacking. Like, that's what I mean. But it's not in women nature to build their character. Like, it's more in women nature to look at other women and be like, oh, like, I wish I looked like that, or I wish my lips were bigger, or, like, all this other stuff. But it's like, instead of focusing on the things that require surgery, why don't you work on the things that don't require surgery first? And then after you work on the things that don't require surgery, like your health, what you eat, your skin health, your hair health, your mental health, like, after you work on all of that, and then like maybe a little bit of your financial health at the end of that, after you work on all of that, then you can look at other humans without feeling like this lack, or like feeling like they have something that you don't, because we are all the same. We all have the same opportunity. We can get in shape. We can all live life. We might not all be able to become millionaires, but we can all kind of just figure out how to live a life that makes us feel alive. Like, and makes it so we're not necessarily, like, it's like I said, it's okay to compete with people, because Vegeta competing with Goku to keep up with each other, yada yada, but they're friends. They built a friendship through this shit, and it's like no harsh feelings or whatever. Goku surpasses, Vegeta surpasses, then Goku will then catch up with Vegeta. Like, it's this thing that it's like they're on this whole thing of progressing and getting better and getting stronger. That's my thing. I'm trying to become the best version of me, but I know there is no end destination of it. There is no best version of me, realistically. I can get better every single day. Every single day I can get better, forever. Like, forever. One day my body's going to be too old where maybe it's like I'm not getting physically better, but then I must work on my mind even more to then get mentally better. Like, maybe I'll start meditating more. Maybe I'll start whatever more. Like, I don't know, but all I know is you can work on yourself until the end. And, like, but when your mental health is really kind of messed up, working on yourself, like, the progress thing bothers people, because they're like, well, can't I just enjoy who I am? Like, and that's the thing. I love who the fuck I am. I love who I am. I love who I am today. But I'm also gonna love who I am tomorrow. I loved who I was yesterday. Like, but if you go back far enough, there was a point where I didn't love who I was. Because I was just some fucking thug dude. Didn't even know how to speak right. Didn't know how to think right. Didn't think about others. Didn't give a fuck. Like, all this other shit. And, like, I didn't like who I was when I actually seen that this is who I am. And that's when I'm like, well, I can get better. I can change. I can grow. Because I want to. I wanted to stop being the gangster. I wanted to grow my mind. I wanted to, like, get into psychedelics because I was listening to Terrence McKenna and, like, all these other things. Like, I wanted to do these things. And that's fine. So many people I got inspired by. But I don't want to be any of these people. I love these people. They have helped me so much. But I don't want to be them. I just want to be me. And they have helped me be me. So, like, I'm grateful. For real.